We came over to her house for dinner, and Chris was really pissed off about the amount of cats that were in the house.
The world was definitively a better place before the Chiefs began their reign.
Because kids fall down, then you're just stomping on throats and ripping chodes, and it is just like, my God.
Gentlemen!
Hey, that was a little bit
Good
better
evening, boys.
We made it. Episode 12. Welcome to the Juice Boys. I just need to apologize before we even start. I am sick. This is my flu game, guys. I am
Sound
Michael
like
Jordan.
shit.
I am
like
Michael
shit.
Jordan.
Which, listener, he does not look any better either.
No. But hey, our one listener in Topeka, what's his name?
Kevin.
Kevin and
Oh,
Topeka?
jeez. But Kevin in
Dude,
Topeka.
you're being so rude to our boy.
You're right. Kevin in
Kevin and
Topeka deserves
we
the effort.
apologize.
He comes in week out. He listens to our show.
Been cranking out listens ever since the first episode dropped.
Well, welcome to the Juice Boys Show. Three brothers-in-law, dumb enough to start a sports podcast. We're here every week. We are off and running for our 12th week. I can't believe it, guys. I feel old already.
That is wild.
It's 3 months?
Wow. Well, when you say it like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Jeez. But we're bound by the three B's, booze, betting, and bullshit. Or we're building our alphabet, the three L's, laughter, liquor, and love. Or legal paperwork, whatever.
Yeah.
We're stuck together. But boys, how we doing? What are we drinking? Let's get this thing off.
Well,
Joey, why don't you lead us in?
I got a hot toddy, boys, because
yeah.
an apple cider. It's fall. An apple cider.
Ooh. How festive and fun.
Yes, it's a apple cider lukewarm toddy. As of now.
Formerly hot toddy.
Formerly a hot toddy.
I was like, did you prefer it that way?
No,
I was
no,
like,
no.
I was like, oh, God.
But it has some whiskey in it. I knew I couldn't come to the show without it. But that's what I'm drinking. Christopher.
Well, you came
Love
with
it.
wine last week.
Oh.
Yeah.
God.
Never heard of that.
Technically, I have wine. I'm drinking a Maker's Mark Manhattan, which does include sweet vermouth, which is technically wine.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. How is it?
It's heavenly because I made it.
It's like, so it can go either way, but you made it, so it's delicious.
Yeah, I was tenuous at first, but I'm convinced. I know what I'm doing.
Joseph Broseph, what do you got?
So overall, I'm good, Cody. I'm good. First of all, you
that's
said,
good.
how are you? And then what are we drinking? But first off, I just want to say that my football team is 6-0. Go Huskies! Ooh, yeah,
Let's
baby.
go. Yeah.
Have you guys been covering the spread?
Mr. Pulp himself came up to the game on Saturday and watched us pummel our rival.
They
46 to
covered
nothing.
the hell out of that spread.
Beautiful. 6-0.
46.
How many more games we got?
6-0. Three more, and they're all league games. Our league championship game will be against currently number 5 team in the state, so that's going to be tough. We're 15. We're ranked 15 in the state, so we should be higher, but we play our other league teams are really, really bad. So that doesn't help us in our rankings. But so we got 3 more games. If we win out, we'll make the playoffs. It should be a really decent seed, probably like a 7 or 8 seed in the playoffs if we win out. So let's go Huskies. Let's go, baby. So
big Platte Canyon fans here on the Juice
right.
Boys show.
So, and I picked up something new. I never had it before. I've seen it over at some friends' houses. I got Old Fitzgerald. So prime bourbon, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It's from Louisville, Kentucky. I'd love to go out there and try it sometime. So, and it's pretty damn good. And to back that, because I always got to have a chaser. Never had it before. It's from a brewery I've never heard of down in Broomfield, Rails End Brewing Company, and I'm drinking their hazy IPA called Flying Umbrella. And you guys, I gotta say, it's delightful. It's delightful. It's hazy, but it's not too thick. It's citrusy. It's smooth. It's delicious, and it goes down very well as my chaser to my hard beverage, which I might just have to be drinking this less hard beverage the rest of the night. It's delicious. So there we go.
And
please send him more.
Yeah, you can sponsor us with a 6-pack.
We're not expensive.
We are easily bought.
Oh yeah, as people have figured out. Well, guys, I want to apologize for my voice in advance, just
Oh,
because
buddy.
this is an audio medium, and we are
It's not getting better.
an audio medium really brought to you by my lukewarm toddy. But as we're going to grind it through, the boys are going to carry us home. We got the sports docket. We got a stat of the day. We got a big potato, and we got our picks to wrap up the show like normal. I got a story for you, gentlemen. This is a fun one.
Story time.
We have entered,
Love a
I think
story.
Chris said, what are we at, 12, 13 different states at this point as a podcast?
Oh, should I do a little fun fact?
Yeah, fun fact. We're also
factoid.
an international podcast.
Yeah.
But this one took the cake for me.
Earth.
We have entered our first dream of a listener.
Ooh.
We were in listener Kendall's dream last week.
Okay. Listen,
So
Kendall.
the Juice Boys were featured in her dream. She said, we came over to her house for dinner, and Chris was really pissed off about the amount of cats that were in the house.
She got that from this? Okay.
Yeah, she got that.
Yeah.
And then I had a beard that rivaled Joey's,
That'll never happen.
which I thought was incredible. I made sure to ask. She didn't say it right, but I'm like, how was it compared to Joey's? Like it was
How
it was
does
pretty
she?
close.
Okay. I was gonna say, how does she know?
And fellas,
Yeah.
just to follow up on we're a national podcast at a quick perusing through locations. I think we're at 20 states.
Holy cow.
20 states and Puerto
Beautiful.
Rico.
So now 20 states, multiple
Yeah,
countries.
we've got and let's see here, 6 countries.
Holy
Yeah, I
cow.
think
God.
20 different states.
Dang. And now a dream.
And now
I'm a dream.
So
That's an
thank you,
incredible
listener
dream.
Kendall, for inviting us over for dinner. And I
Yeah,
apologize for
I looked-
Chris's bullshit attitude about cats in your house. It's your home.
No.
You know what you can have as many cats as you want. You don't let Chris tell you what to do.
I'm more
You
of a
just got
dog guy,
busted.
and hey, you know what? I came over wanting to hang out with Reggie, and the hell are all these cats doing here?
We got busted. That we got caught on our first inception trap. We tried. But I guess it didn't work.
Yeah, and I guess I could have
Yeah.
a beard just as good as Joey's, so I thought
No.
I would throw that
Never.
out there. Should we jump into the sports docket, my friends? A lot going on in the sports world. NHL kicking
Go
off
for
this,
it.
not kicking off. I said that in the NHL dropping the puck.
That's right. They're not
This week.
tipping off. They're not kicking off.
Yeah.
They're not, yeah.
Dropping the puck.
Not a lot of kicks. Very
NBA
few
preseason. We got MLB playoffs happening. Joe will talk about here in a second. Week 5 in the books, going into week 6 of NFL. Let's jump right into it.
Great time for sports.
I love
Great
the fall
time for
is.
sports.
I don't know if it gets any better than the fall. Let's start it off. Mr. Irrelevance, Brock effing Purdy.
Oh my God.
Is he Mr. MVP right now? His odds have jumped from like plus 2,000 to plus 700. So he's not quite there, but he's officially in the running. I don't think he's ever lost a game that he started and finished in his
Never.
NFL career.
He's never
No,
lost a
it's-
game in the regular season.
So I think that the argument comes for this because he has so many weapons. And so I think that's what people are saying, that you can't give him the MVP because, I mean, arguably, if you give that to him, why not Christian McCaffrey? He's having an
True.
unbelievable year, right? But at the same time, I think the MVP award has been blown up into just being who is the most outstanding statistical quarterback. And I mean,
agree.
if like you need to go back and actually look like who is making the biggest impact on their team, then give that best statistical offensive player of the year. It was not unheard of back in the day for quarterback to win offensive player of the year and a running back to win MVP. That hasn't happened since Adrian Peterson. When
Yep.
Adrian Peterson had 2,000 yards, and I think, oh my God, who was Peyton? I think it was Peyton his first year with Denver when he got offensive player of the year. When Adrian Peterson won MVP. So what does MVP mean? You are the most valuable player to that team. The dude doesn't turn the ball over. He completely commands that offense. Every single thing that he is asked to do, he does, and they are a well-oiled machine. The dude doesn't lose. How can you not give it to a guy that is undefeated? I mean, if they continue what they're on right now, I think you have to give it to them.
What would Christian McCaffrey have to accomplish in order to actually bring himself into the running, into consideration?
What would that have to be? 3,000 all-purpose yards?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. That year with Adrian Peterson was the entire Vikings offense.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he was.
yeah,
He was. I don't even know who the hell their quarterback was that season. Like I can't.
Sam Bradford now.
if Joey doesn't know it, it can't be known, actually.
Tavares Jackson. I bet it was Tavares Jackson.
Or is it Teddy Bridgewater the one healthy year?
No. Teddy Bridgewater was after that, because that was before they got Favre.
Yeah, he was late.
Oh no, that was after they got Favre, because they got Favre when Adrian Peterson was like a rookie or something.
Dang, yeah. Brock Purdy, 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 123 passer rating through the first 5 games.
Yeah, isn't that
It's
like
incredible.
the highest passer rating in your first 5 starts of all time?
Yep, 72% completion percentage.
Incredible.
He's on a tear. I just don't. He's 23. He's making $900,000 this year, and he has a roommate.
His roommate.
He has a roommate. He drives his Toyota Sequoia to the stadium. He's a roommate with an offensive lineman.
It's because he's got to drive a car that even people in San Francisco don't want to break into.
I want to see a defensive player get some recognition for MVP sometime too, man.
That'd be dope. Yeah.
I mean, I know that the Raiders are trash. They won a game last night, but watching Max Crosby go is absolutely insane. That guy is a freak. He absolutely dominates the other team as a one-man defense. I mean, they cannot stop that guy. I mean, it's just like I know that there's no chance in hell that he will ever win MVP, but I mean, I think he should get some serious look for Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, the way that he has to be double or triple teamed every single time. And that play last night where they blocked him on the outside, so he just whipped all the way around the outside, came back around and pressured and forced an interception. I was just like, this guy's an animal.
Did you happen to see the lead into Sports Center right afterward? God, the whoever the nobody is that's running Sports Center after Monday Night Football, talking to Troy Aikman as if they're buddies, and going, "Now, Troy, I've heard of Max Protect, but usually that means protect against everybody, not just Max." And meanwhile, Troy just about took a gun and shot himself.
He said, I'm here for the paycheck, here for the paycheck, here for the paycheck, here for the paycheck.
My God. I am here to just squeeze out everything I can from this sinking ship, but my God, is it worth it?
Dang. Well, Mr. Relevant is Mr. in the running for MVP. That is wild.
Oh, I love it.
You have to think about it. Every team passed on him 7 times.
Yeah.
And the 49ers passed on him 6 times.
Yep.
And I love I love the balls of you traded up to go and grab Trey Lance. You've got Jimmy Garoppolo, who's been running the offense, doing just fine, and you're like, you know what, this guy had a flash, and we believe in him. Like that's such a ballsy move,
and humbling by Lynch and Shanahan to be like, we got to eat that. Like, this guy's doing it.
Yeah,
we're gonna be proving ourselves wrong.
He's saving their jobs. I mean, that was the worst decision we've seen, maybe besides Russell Wilson and Sean Payton and the laundry list that George Payton, as the Broncos GM, has done. But, I mean, that was a bad trade, John Lynch. I mean, you got bailed out by the last pick. I mean, it's just like Chad Kelly was the last pick, and who knows what would have happened if he didn't dress up like Woody from Toy Story and then break into somebody's house.
Break into somebody's house? Yeah. And get assaulted by a vacuum tube.
It's after Von Miller's Halloween party. Oh, that was awesome.
Well, this next one, this is supposed to be a serious one, because I know it's a tough time to be a Patriot and a Bronco fan.
Oh, Jesus.
Is it?
But as 2 fans of those teams, I wanted to hash this out in the long term. Next, give me 2 to 4 years. Would you rather be a Patriots fan or a Bronco fan?
I mean, I'll be interested to see what Joey has to say, just because I'll view the Broncos through my rose-colored Homer eyes. But I mean, it just, I feel like the Broncos are under new ownership. They're trying to do flashy new things. Like, they're getting caught trying, and it's just not working out. like I've said on this podcast before, like I've said to the two of you before, like I'm a big fan of making the right call, like making a splashy call, doing something that, has some risk and potentially has some reward. And so I like this ownership group showcasing that they're willing to do that. They're willing to throw money at stadium upgrades, versus Patriots just seem to be in the mindset of we're going to keep doing what we've done for the last, 25 years, even though now it is being completely laid bare, that it's inadequate. So I think Broncos right now.
See, I would say that I might disagree with every single thing that you just said.
Oh, you might?
Because first of all, you're saying that I guess I like your optimism of a new ownership group, but also at the same time, I think that's why I think it might be better to be a Patriots fan in the long run, because they have that stability in their ownership group, and that they're willing to spend money, and they know that they're willing to do things. And you talk about the stadium upgrades. The Patriots has put in that massive new jumbotron in Gillette, and then built the largest lighthouse in North America.
Oh, well,
That's
it's about
true.
time.
So it's true.
Yeah, I know. How does that help the Patriots win?
Yeah,
It doesn't.
How many wins has
but
that
it's cool.
helped with so far?
It doesn't, but it's cool. So see, okay, so where I get my optimism about being a Patriots fan in 2 to 4 years is that I think Bill Belichick is going to get fired by the end of this year. And why?
Mutual parting of ways.
Okay,
Mutual
yeah.
parting of ways.
No, he's going to get fired.
Ooh,
And,
really?
yeah,
They won't call it that.
That's brutal.
I think they will. For Belichick would like, no, I got fired. I think he's done his time. Like he's been there. When Tom Landry got fired, he might not. It might be a Marv Levy situation. Where he might just be like, you're really old. Just walk away. But I don't think he would. But anyway, they're going to move on from Bill Belichick this year, and they're going to get a whole new coaching staff, whole new perspective. They might end up with the top 5 pick this year. They're so bad, if not the number 1 pick, and that would be so Patriots if they get Caleb Williams. That would just be the most incredible thing ever if they get Caleb Williams, because that dude's going to just pick and choose where he wants to go, and why not go to the second most profitable franchise in the entire world, only behind the New York Yankees, and only behind the Dallas Cowboys. And I don't know. I think just because of the track record they've had, I know that Belichick and the Brady thing, everybody says that Belichick owes everything to Brady, which I think is true. He's proven that at this point now. But also at the same time, Robert Kraft is my dad's favorite guy. Robert Kraft has been arguably the greatest owner in professional sports history, and he brought them to a Super Bowl before Brady was even there in '96 with Drew Bledsoe when he first took over the team. So you just don't. Losing is unacceptable up there, and I think they're going to have to figure it out. They haven't had back-to-back losing seasons since the '90s, so we'll see. I think it's there's optimism in disaster at this point, I think.
I read somewhere that for those wondering what kind of leash the 20 years of winning football gets you as a coach, it's about 3 years and some change.
Yeah,
it's like the greatest 20-year run in history gets you about 3 years and some change of grace.
It's called, I think Cam Newton can do it. That's yeah. Oh God, and then yeah.
Moving on, it's Broncos Chiefs weeks, boys. Broncos Chiefs week.
Ooh, is it? When is that game?
That is Thursday night football, which sucks because Thursday blows. Thursday.
I kind of like game.
When was the last Thursday night football game that was good? That was entertaining. That wasn't terrible. That was worth your time. Exactly.
Was last week bad? I can't remember.
That was it was the Bears blowout.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're shitty. So
thank you. I just thought I saw a video of this. The last time the Chiefs lost to the Broncos, it was that Jamal Charles fumble when it was 24-24, and he fumbled it with like a microsecond before his knee went down. Scoop and scored to win the game. Peyton Manning was the quarterback. But here,
this is 2015.
Yeah, so here's the list of things that didn't exist the last time the Broncos won a game against the Chiefs.
Oh my gosh.
Disney Plus did not exist.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Fortnite did not exist.
Oh, Jesus.
Game of Thrones Season 6 did not exist. Hello by Adele, big hit. Was not written yet. The iPhone 7 and AirPods were not out yet. Stranger Things was not out yet. TikTok did not exist.
So this is like a much better place.
White Claw hard seltzers did not exist.
What I'm hearing is the world was definitively a better place before the Chiefs began their reign.
Yeah,
guess so.
Is this their fault?
The Star Wars sequel trilogy was not out yet.
Yeah, you've already made your point. The world has only gotten worse.
I didn't see it that way, but I thought the Chiefs are 10.5-point favorites. I think that's a big line because the Chiefs always make the Broncos look better than they are, and they've been playing each other for 50 years. So
You bite your tongue until we get to picks, buddy.
Ooh, Joey's cooking up something juicy.
Okay, let's move on then. Can the Dallas Cowboys please sit down and shut the hell up? That's what's written on the doc. I don't know who wrote that. But
Well, not according to Micah Parsons, who says that they are still as good as the 49ers. There's a couple things didn't go their way.
Just
Yeah,
a couple.
so-
a couple.
Several touchdowns worth of things didn't go their way.
Yeah.
And then you see George Kittle, the FU Dallas
That
shirt.
was fantastic.
And then Mike is like, "Oh, he made it personal." And then Debo came out, I was like, "Bro, it was personal before the game started. This has been a rivalry for like 30 years, dude."
Yeah.
This is
The catch was against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
In the 81? I mean, it's like that. Come on, man.
That's on Micah Parsons. But the Cowboys are a above average team. No one's impressed. They won't do anything in the playoffs. I don't think Dak is it. Dak got paid. He's just an above average quarterback. You're happy to have him. You wish you could have someone else, but you're content with him. That's right.
Trey Lance is licking his chops to go out
waiting
there
in the wings
and go out there and just look worse than Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like Micah Parsons is all world. I mean, maybe one of the greatest players we've ever seen.
Yeah, he's like
He's a freak. They're talking about lining him up at tight end and playing some offense. And I was like, that would be amazing. When he was in high school,
as a fan, but
yeah, when he was in high school, he played both sides and he was a running back. And he was absolutely devastating.
Yeah, just fucking people left
Yeah.
and right, just destroying people.
Where do you guys see the Cowboys right now after that? I mean, they've lost to the Cardinals, which Dak came out after this loss and said it was a humbling loss. Like, dude, you just lost to the Cardinals.
Yeah,
Like, how is that not humbling?
The Cardinals are playing their asses off.
They are. We love the Cardinals. This is a pro-Cardinal podcast. I don't know why.
Josh Dobbs fans here.
Love Dobbs.
Big Josh Dobbs. But, dude, they're playing their asses off. And they have been in every game. And they like, I can't believe that.
Except last week.
But I can't believe that goober of a head coach is actually doing something out there. I can't believe that the guy looks like Kendall from Succession and probably acts exactly the same way. And it's just, how does that guy lead a group of strong, hardcore men? But they're doing it, man. They're playing their asses off for that dude.
Look at that. We like the Cardinals more than the fucking Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm a big fan of can the Dallas Cowboys please sit down and shut up for a while. They did a little bit of a speed run this year to it's time to sit down and shut up. Usually Dak gives them a couple more weeks of false hope before tearing them to pieces.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Joey, baseball
Yes,
upsets. You put a note, fuck the Astros and Dodgers.
Yeah.
What could you ever mean by that?
I hate them so much. And both of them with a vehement, absolute vitriol. Let's
A lot of big words there.
Yeah. Let's go to the I don't even know if those words even made sense, but they sounded good coming out of my mouth. So
Wait, hold on. Did you actually know what they meant?
Yes, somewhat. Yeah,
Because I don't. I'm just asking.
Vehement, I think
Uh-oh.
vitriol, doesn't that mean hatred? I think it does.
Uh-oh.
So vitriol.
Vitriol is like with disgust and hatred.
Yeah, cruel and bitter criticism. Okay,
Yeah.
so vehement vitriol. Yeah. Okay, that works.
All right.
Okay.
Check that. Continue, please. Continue.
I was a history teacher. All right.
For the morons, by the morons. Except
Yes.
one moment where we've got fancy ass words.
So I said, let's talk about the upsets so far in the baseball playoff picture. It's been a pretty exciting first start. with some upsets going on. I want to explain because some of them might not seem like upsets, but they have been. So we'll start first with the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are off to an incredible start. All right, right now they beat the Milwaukee Brewers two games to nothing in the first round, and they are leading the Dodgers 2 games to nothing right now, and nothing makes me happier than to see the Dodgers tank in the postseason.
Clayton Kershaw doesn't have it again.
Oh, he is just the poor guy just can't figure it out in the postseason. One of the greatest left-handed pitchers we've ever seen just cannot figure it out in the postseason.
You know who's better?
Yeah.
Randy Johnson.
Baby.
Randy, big unit Johnson.
The big unit.
The murderer of Bird.
So my pre-postseason pick of the Atlanta Braves to win are tied right now with Philly, and which is what's going to be an outstanding series after Philly beat the Marlins 2 games to nothing. And the East is looking interesting. Oh, sorry, the AL. I call it the East. The AL is looking interesting right now. And I'll say my favorite upset to this point was a 3-6 victory, which doesn't make sense because the 3 seed is higher than the 6 seed. However, the Minnesota Twins have not won a postseason series in 22 years, and they finally put it together. And they beat the Blue Jays. And right now they're down 2 games to 1 on the stupid Astros. But I want to see the Twinkies do it, dude. That would be so awesome to see the Twins go through, because the Texas Rangers are leading Baltimore right now 2 games to nothing. I really want to see Baltimore go. So my pre-postseason picks was Atlanta and Minnesota because of my nephew Ryan wanted the Twins. And so let's go. Boo Dodgers, boo Astros. Let's go Diamondbacks. That would be so freaking awesome.
Hell yeah.
Good for both. Diamondbacks have always been, they've been really not great since Kurt Schilling and Randy Johnson, since they won the World Series back in 2003. So they turned around.
They had a couple good years with Paul Goldschmidt and people, but then he went to St. Louis, and they are giving me the hope for the Rockies because 2 years ago they lost 116 games.
Same with Baltimore. Right? They were always a joke the last 20 years. Small market team. Did you guys see the Rays had no one show up to their playoff game?
So sad. And they're good. They're good. They won 99 games, man. Yeah. And it's just like that's terrible.
The Royals had more people at their last home game as a 110 loss team.
That's right.
Than the Rays did at their postseason game.
And the Rays just got approved for a new stadium. It's like, why? Why stay
how
there?
Can you sign off on that at this point?
Yeah, why stay there? Move them to Nashville. That would be awesome.
Oh, that would be sick. But
have Baker Mayfield show up and throw out every single first pitch.
I like it.
I love it.
That's it for the sports talk. Music, man.
Yeah.
No squeeze this week. No, the boys didn't have any. That's okay. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But Joey,
nothing juicy.
How can people submit their most outlandish sports takes to the Juice Boys show to be read?
I want to make sure, listener, that you are hearing me correctly, because we had a couple solid weeks of submissions, and we've had nothing. We've had nothing. So this is not telling you how. This is asking you to submit. Please listen.
Begging. It's begging.
Please submit your most outlandish sports take by emailing us at juiceboyshow@gmail.com. That is juiceboyshow@gmail.com.
Always go lower.
Always an octave lower. And if it has the pulp, we will read it on the show. Chris, who is sponsoring the next segment.
Wow. The Juice Boys are proud to announce their new official haircut, the mullet.
Yes. I wish I could do it.
Joey's going to be getting some Bosley done so that he can grow his own mullet. But listener, do you find yourself regularly waking up in your front lawn? Does every pair of jeans in your closet have a well-worn chew can outline on one pocket? Have you shown up to a family reunion looking for a date? Well, then it's time for you.
It took me a second to understand.
Well, then it's time to steer head first into that skid by embracing the mullet. The mullet is the hairstyle for you, listener. And it's not just because people already expect you to respond, hell yeah, brother, to any self-destructive idea. It's the hairstyle of the past. It's the hairstyle of the present. And it'll be the hairstyle of the future. Because this country is just like a mullet itself. It started off clean and neat and grows into a bigger disaster the longer you go. So we here at the Juice Boys Show, the only show that's by the morons for the morons, invite you to join us at the back of the bell curve with the official hairstyle of this show, the mullet. Because nobody has ever gotten laid in a Dale Senior shirt and pit vipers with a goddamn buzz cut. Hell yeah, brother.
Thank you, Mullet.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for all you've done for the Juice Boys in this country, Mullet.
Stat of the day, guys. I thought we'd go hockey.
Love it.
I love it. Let's go.
NHL's dropping the puck this week.
Let's go, Avs. Let's go, Avs.
Oh, yeah. Let's get another Stanley, huh?
You see Peyton Manning on Monday Night Football last night when the Golden Knights brought out the Stanley Cup. He just said, they're just holding it. They're just holding it for a year. It'll be back in Denver. And I was like, oh, yes.
Love it.
Peyton Manning, yes.
Peyton Manning is an Avs fan. Who'd have thunk it? Fit
Here
that
we
big
go.
ass forehead into a little tiny hockey helmet.
Dig.
Stat of the day. Trivia. What brother pairing in NHL history has the most points scored?
Oh, I know this.
Brother combination that leads the NHL.
Joey, do you know
Points
this?
scored.
I mean, do you want to? I think I do.
And get it.
I'm gonna say the Sedin brothers.
The
No.
Gretzky brothers.
Yes.
Wayne Gretzky's brother has 1 point.
Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh my God.
Old Brent Wayne. No, Gretzky. Wait, Brent Gretzky's got 4 points.
Oh, my bad.
Suck on that.
Oh my God. So even the Sedins who will be Hall of Famers combined don't touch Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky, 2,861 points. Brent's 4.
Way to go, Gretzky, bro.
They combined for the most points scored by a brother duo. Dang.
Where are the Sedins on?
Oh,
I
probably
bet I got
close.
No? Oh.
Dang, Chris. I think Chris is
I'm kind of crushing these stats of the day.
yeah.
You are.
Step
You
up my
are,
game.
buddy.
Dude, that's like my 5th one that I've known.
Out of 12? That's good.
Yeah. Nah, whoa.
Maybe not 5th. I think
Yeah. Let's settle ourselves there.
Well, not per episode. There were a couple to where there were 2 stats, and I knew both of them.
All right, boys. The big potato. The big tot. The big topic of the day. This all stems from the disastrous coaching move of Miami from this past weekend.
Oh my God.
All they had to do was touch their knee to the ground to win a football game. What did
Now
they
explain. My University of Miami
do? I'm sorry.
against Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
All right, so this is an ACC rivalry, and it has been. Georgia Tech isn't the powerhouse they used to be.
Yep.
In the '90s, this was a rivalry.
What was there, 26 seconds left?
74 yards in 26 seconds to win the game, and Georgia Tech had to get a touchdown. They were down 4, so it wasn't even a march down, kick a field goal, put it into overtime, or win with a field goal, anything like that. It was end zone or bust.
Yep. So it's being called one of the most disastrous coaching decisions of all time to not simply take a knee, win the ball game. That made us boys think,
That's right.
what are the worst coaching decisions that you've ever seen or read about or learned about? This actually is a callback to our first ever episode of the Juice Boys when we were just little podcasters with a dream. We did the biggest boneheaded plays by players, and we thought this was the perfect opportunity to break out boneheaded coaching decisions.
Great opportunity to.
And we also have to mention we cannot use, give Marshawn Lynch the damn ball. Because we have
just too
beaten
easy.
that. Yeah, that's too easy.
It's just too easy. It's like us all saying we would like to witness a battle in the Coliseum. It's just one of those ones that's just like it's just universally known and accepted that yes, that is the number one most boneheaded, ridiculous decision of all time.
And not only have we beaten that horse, we've
resurrected it and beaten it again.
So with that, who would like to start?
I'll lead us off.
Do it.
All right.
So Mario Cristobal, gets the lead in for being the biggest bonehead so far this season with that wonderful decision to run the ball instead of just take a knee and take the dub, which harkens back to 2018.
Oh,
when the Oregon Ducks had a chance to kneel and end the game against Stanford, but instead chose to run the ball.
yeah.
Fumbled.
Oh, I remember this.
Marches down the field, kicks a field goal, pushes overtime, and goes on to win the game against a team led by none other than Mario goddamn Cristobal.
Oh,
This isn't even the first time he's made this choice.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's already made this choice, come face to face with the repercussions and the embarrassment of what it means to not take a knee and not take the W, and still decides to make that decision a second time on a bigger stage.
I can't believe I didn't put that together. I remember that.
Total
Mario Cristobal.
I mean, dude is just dedicated to not learning at this point. I mean, that's like that would be the single most embarrassing of any one coach's potential coaching career, like across the board.
Yeah.
To do it twice, to have not learned from that, to have to go into the AD's office this Monday morning and be like, yeah, I guess I should have learned last time, huh?
Yeah. Just take a knee. Just take a knee. It's my favorite. It's my favorite play in football. As I always say with the kids every week, like, what's my favorite play? Well, my favorite play is wedge, but my second favorite play is victory formation. And so it's just that's it.
Everybody's favorite play.
Yeah, wedge, the tush push, the brotherly shove. That's my favorite play, especially in high school, because it just gets so nasty in there. Because kids fall down, and then you're just stomping on throats and ripping chodes, and it is just like, my God!
What did you say?
Punching taints and ripping chodes, baby. Yeah. That's what happens in those piles. It is nasty.
I didn't see any of that this last weekend at the Black Canyon game.
You didn't have to. We won 46-0. We didn't. It was.
I think those kids just didn't strike me as your average chode rippers. Pardon me.
It's because they're coached well. You don't see it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, you don't see it.
It's hidden under a thin veneer, a thin, well-polished veneer.
Chode ripping is for the trained eye. All right. So then you will see it. You'll see it, and then that's all you'll see.
It's a trained eye.
Chris.
Yes.
My dear friend Chris.
Oh, I know where you're going with this. You're already wrong. I should have known as soon as you said 1984. You're already wrong. Don't go for the tie, the natty.
No, okay. Now, Tom Osborne, the great coach of Nebraska history, had an opportunity to have a national championship. In the bag, all you have to do is kick the extra point and tie, and you are guaranteed a share of the national championship, something that he had not had at that point. So what does he do? He goes for two. And what else does he do wrong? He passes the ball. Okay, so immediately what happens? The pass was broken up by the Miami Hurricanes, none other. Miami won. Miami becomes the national champion. And Tom Osborne did not win a national championship, his first national championship, for another 10 years.
I mean, he proceeded to win several.
Okay, but still, at that point, not yet. So he wanted the outright, straight up. He did not get it. And then guess who got it? The team that stopped him. So Yeah.
Here's why you're wrong. He's been asked plenty of times, and his answer is always the same. We don't go for ties. And that is badass. And that is the persona, that is the culture, that is everything that he built into those 90s teams, that 80s culture, everything that he built in his tenure at Nebraska was exactly that. When you have the opportunity to go for the throat, you go for the throat and you don't question it, regardless of the outcome.
They lost.
That's fine. They went on to win 3 more with him.
I know, but I don't know. I don't think my soul would have let me give up a national championship.
I'm going to go a little bit smaller but significant. I had to read up about it. Greg Popovich, 2013 finals against the Heat. One of the greatest coaches of all time in the NBA of the Spurs. This is the game that Ray Allen hits the corner 3.
Yes.
I forgot about this. He took out Tim Duncan, maybe one of the greatest rebounders of all time, for that play. What happens? They miss it. They get an offensive rebound. They give it to Ray Allen. He shoots the shot. They win the game. Why would you leave?
I remember watching that game live and seeing them take Duncan out and being like, what on God's green earth would ever make you think to take one of the top 10 players of all time and the heart and soul of your team, and a chance for he could have won his 6th and gone to Jordan level of 6th a championship, and you keep him off, and what happened? What happened? It got
an offensive rebound
of the one freaking guy in the entire league that you can't leave open in the corner. I mean, he's one of the top maybe 3 players ever. Steph Curry, him, and Reggie Miller that you can't leave open. It's just, like that was.
He's one of the best rebounders of all time. Tim, even if you got a slight advantage in that moment, why would you? I can sleep at night knowing I had Tim effing Duncan on the floor, and he was smart enough he was going to make a decision. So, slight thing, but if you look at, I forgot they got rid of him for that play, and they lost a championship because of it.
Put in Tiago Splitter.
I'm sure they did, but that's my start. But Chris, number 2.
I'm going to change away just to pick on Joey.
Chris is going to pivot.
Yeah, let's talk about Bill Belichick deciding to go for it on 4th down.
I knew it.
Potentially spoiling the perfect season. So in which Super Bowl was that, Joey? Just off the top of your head.
40.
I just want to see if he's got it. I just want to see if he's got it in him.
6.
No, 42.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but anyway, so points are at a premium. Patriots have a 7-3 lead in the 3rd quarter. They've been dominating time of possession. Both defenses are playing lights out. Patriots offense can't really do very much, and they faced a 4th and 13 in order to get a first down on the Giants' 31-yard line. And instead of calling up legendary Patriots kicker Steven Gostkowski to kick a 50-yarder to get an extra 3 points, they decide to go for it on 4th. They miss, and they wind up losing by how many, Joey?
3.
3. Yeah. Okay. That's what it was. They lost by 3.
They lost by 3.
Yeah. And so everything else stays. If everything else in that game stays the same, it's the ultimate. Does that decision wind up having the repercussion of costing them the perfect season, being the 2nd team in NFL history to ever have a perfect season? I mean, it's.
Chris, I completely blocked that out of my memory. I when you said Patriots 4th down, I thought you were going for the 4th and 2 against the Colts.
That was going to be my backup.
I'm like the 20-yard line. I'm like the 20-yard line going for it. I forgot about that 4th and 13. I remember thinking at the time with how dominant their offense was, and I was just like, all right, they might be able to do this because Steven Gostkowski was a rookie that year. That was the year that they lost. The 2nd year, because they Adam Vinatieri went to the Colts and he won a Super Bowl with them in 2006. And so then they had Steven Gostkowski. He hadn't had a chance to prove himself from that point. they were having a hard time to get touchdowns in that game. They lost 17-14. So I think I don't know. I don't disagree. I disagree with them. Yeah, in hindsight, but at the time it kind of made sense. But 4th and 13 is ridiculous.
4th and
4th
13
and 13 is
in the
ridiculous.
Super Bowl is insane.
Yeah, well, they had the best offense ever at that point, and they're just cocky. And then after that, when they got the ball back with a minute left, and all they do was score a field goal. I remember all they were doing was just hucking it deep to Randy Moss. It was over and over again, and I was like, "What? This is not the team that you guys win with." And they proved that the Patriots never won with Randy Moss. They never won with Wes Welker. They won with David Givens and Patton and Julian Edelman and Troy Brown and Danny Amendola. I mean, it was just like, oh God, that game was so frustrating. Christy just opened up my heart. I forgot about that. When that happened, I was so upset. I puked in the backyard and locked myself in the dorm for 3 days.
Ha! Suck it.
I love it.
1986. Boston Red Sox, Game 6, 1986 World Series.
Ooh.
Up 3-2 on the New York Mets. They have one of the more underrated first basemen of all time playing first base in Bill Buckner. Bill Buckner was a career 300 hitter. He was a phenomenal player for the Red Sox.
He's also the reason that our good friend Joey is alive.
Oh, I didn't want to. I blocked that out of my memory too.
Call back to episode something. Where we learned a great deal. Yeah,
that was early.
We learned the conception story of our good friend Joe. Continue. I'm sorry. I should have.
Thank you.
So Bill Buckner was going late into his career, and at this point he was a defensive liability, but he wasn't good enough. I mean, he was good enough, but he wasn't that much of an offensive juggernaut to be the DH. So they kept on playing him at first base. However, in the previous 2 games in this World Series, when it came down to the 9th inning for defensive replacements, John McNamara, the Red Sox manager, subbed Bill Buckner out for Dave Stapleton as defensive insurance. However, in this game, he specifically didn't. Dave Stapleton was running out to go play the ninth inning, and he chose to keep Bill Buckner in so Bill Buckner could win the championship for the Red Sox and break the curse of the Bambino. Then what happened? A routine ground ball hit to first base. All he has to do is just step on the bag. It goes through his legs, and the Red Sox lose that game and go on to lose Game 7 the next day.
Okay, but now we have Joey.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is doing the world a greater good. And so how much can we be upset about?
Who knows? But maybe I would be such a more pleasant person.
Oh, yeah, he did say because of this, he was ingrained. He was conceived under so much negativity. Yes.
Yeah.
I find you extremely pleasant.
I mean, I think it's one of the worst decisions, one of the worst mistakes ever, because he already did this 2 games before in two games that they won. And this was already set in motion to happen, and he pulled him off to say no. And then that came back and completely bit them in the ass and the poor guy now, Bill Buckner, goes down there with Steve Bartman as the biggest goats in sports history.
I'm going to go with October 11th, 1992. Someone has an opportunity to make absolute history. They can play in an NFL game and an MLB game in the same day.
Nice. Yeah.
Mr. Deion Sanders suited up for the Atlanta Falcons, played against the Dolphins that afternoon. It was a 1 o'clock kickoff.
Yep.
Atlanta Braves had a playoff game that evening. Hopped on a plane.
It was the World Series game.
No, National League Championship game.
Okay.
Against the Pirates, hopped on a private jet, is suited up, ready to roll, and the boneheaded decision is Bobby Cox not allowing Deion Sanders to play in that game.
Yeah, he was ready.
He was ready. He was suited up. The cameras kept cutting to him. It was going to be an issue no matter what. So I don't know why you went the negative route, because you had to answer questions on why didn't you play him. No player
Bobby
has
Cox
ever...
is an asshole. That's
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And they lost the game, I think, 7-1 to Barry Bonds and the Pirates. So he obviously could have helped, but he took the old man, get off my lawn approach. He could have made history. I don't understand why people don't make history when they can. It's like Mike McDaniel's not going for the scoring records. Like, that don't happen all the time. This felt like a...
I'm a Broncos fan, and that pissed me off because I was like,
go
dude,
for it.
You guys, these are professional athletes.
They get paid no matter what.
Professional athletes. There's no such thing as running up the score against professional athletes.
Yeah, so Deion literally could have made history. Bo Jackson didn't do this.
Nope.
This would have been the one time in history that a player played 2 professional sports in a single day, and it was all because Bobby Cox said, nah.
And at like an incredibly high level. That was a playoff game.
Yeah.
You know, and for a long time, I used to just like look at baseball through just the statistical lens and just be like, this guy was great, this guy was that. And then I started coaching and I started really understanding the game. And Deion Sanders was a damn good baseball player.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I know that I was looking at, you look at his stats and they're pedestrian because he only played like 90 games or something like that was the highest amount he played in a season. But in that season, he had 14 triples. He had 14 triples in those 90 games. Then like 8 home runs and something like 36 RBIs and batted .301. He hit 300 for a season in Major League Baseball. You know how freaking hard that is to do? I mean, and he played a damn good center field. The guy had an arm too. I couldn't believe how he could throw. It wasn't a Bo Jackson arm, but I mean, he could throw. And so I think he gets like, I think his baseball attributes and what he was actually able to do as a baseball player is overlooked. He was a really good baseball player.
Yeah, and I read up on the whole thing, and the Falcons were cool with pretty much whatever Deion wanted to do. It was the Braves who were really being sticklers about sharing time, splitting time. It all happened a few years ago that he could not play in the playoffs because there's a contract with the Falcons that he could not participate in the playoffs. And so when they reworked the deal, there was some like handshake situations that he could potentially do both. And then Bobby Cox was not happy when he was trying to do this. I don't know if he felt it was a selfish, greedy move, but at the end of the day, your job as if you're Bobby Cox, is to win a game.
Okay,
so what players give you the opportunity to do that?
Look at those Braves teams, man. Those Braves teams were so like clean cut and just like just finely tuned machines. And then you have like the flamboyant, crazy, attention seeking Deion come in. It's like I could see that because you got Tom Glavine and Greg Maddux who were just like, I never show emotion, you know, and it's just like then you get Deion in there. I could see that. I could see that piss.
But all you had to do is put him in, and you make history. But that really bothers me. And I think I've read that it still bothers Deion to this day how they handled that. So look at us. Those are the worst coaching decisions in our eyes.
All right, listener. Remember, you can now listen and continue to listen to the show on all major podcast networks, including Google, Spotify, and Apple. See, it doesn't sound the same if I don't drop octave, dude. It just doesn't sound. It just doesn't sound right.
I say the app names like your life depends on it, and I love it.
Google, Spotify, and Apple. If you're enjoying the show, please consider following and rating the show, and leave us a review if you listen through Apple. Also, be a friend, tell a friend about the podcast. I just told that to my nephew this last weekend. Be a friend, tell a friend. Also, you can now follow us on Instagram at Juice Boys Show. Juice Boys Show. Cody, back to you.
Let's go ahead and wrap up tonight's show with our picks, Chris. Who did well? Who did bad?
Oh,
how are we looking for this season?
I did bad.
I
think I did too.
Are we just actively disrespecting the sponsor of tonight's picks?
Oh, I'm sorry. Chris,
God.
who is sponsoring picks?
Do all this work to track
paid
down
a lot
sponsors. They pay undisclosed amounts of money to have space. And today's picks, damn you, are brought to you by Hot Dogs at the Turn.
Oh, I love them.
Now, this year's golf season may be drawing to a close, but there's never been a better time to squeeze in one last round and enjoy hot dogs at the turn. Are you shooting triples and seeing double? After having a bit too much of the liquor you forgot was in the bottom of your golf bag?
A joint partnership.
Yeah. This is hand in hand. There's no better remedy to get you back into that perfect balance of sober enough to remain upright and drunk enough to still have fun, quite like hot dogs at the turn. You can count on hot dogs at the turn to get you in touch with your inner Joey Chestnut while filling you full of enough salt to look like John Daly in no time. So grab 2 fistfuls and stumble your happy ass over to the 10th tee box with a stomach full of pig intestines and a heart full of hope. Hot dogs at the turn for those golfers who understand the only thing that follows up a shit first 9 is having the shits on the back 9.
That's so true, and I just love the John Daly ad there. You know, have you ever heard this John Daly stat of what he consumed at a golf tournament?
I have read that, and it's
So in 18 holes, this is what he put into his body: 21 cigarettes.
So about a cig a hole.
No, more. Yeah. 12 Diet Cokes. Okay. 6 packs of peanut M&Ms and 0 ounces of water.
Yeah, and that's with him not drinking.
He says he doesn't drink water.
Yeah, he very famously said he's never injured because you can't pull fat. And
But that dude could just bomb drives. I don't understand it.
Dingers.
Chris, how did we do last week? Anyone do anything spectacular?
Wasn't our best week?
No, it was not.
For anyone?
So in last place is once again me.
Oh, buddy.
With 1 and 2. 1 and 2. I had my pick of the litter. Texas OU under 59.5. I thought that was looking great. And then 10 points in the last 3 minutes. Colorado minus 4.5, lost by a half point.
Half point.
Colorado Buffaloes are a joke. But the Jets and Broncos did cover the over 43. In second place last week, Juice Boy Joe.
Yeah.
Also with 1 and 2, but
That's right.
he wins the tiebreaker because he's ahead on the season.
Okay, I'll take that.
I bet he will.
Yeah.
Texas
I won
straight
again.
up, so they couldn't quite cover a minus 6.5. CSU also straight up lost, so they
Holy shit, they did. They were up 17-0.
I saw that.
Losing by
That was the
20. What
shellac.
the hell happened?
The Dallas 49ers game hit the over, and then Juice Boy McCoy with a very respectable 2-1. Nothing to write home about, but that's ahead money right there. Chiefs and Vikings didn't hit the over for you, but Texans plus 2.5, and your Red River Showdown over hit for you.
Wait, the Texans lost by 2?
19-21, wasn't it?
Oh my God, you
Dude.
lucky man.
Yeah,
It's just good at gambling. That's all that is.
yeah, that's twice now in 2 weeks you've been bailed out by a half point.
So totals for the year?
You pull ahead by 1, dude. You're up on me by uno.
Damn right.
Yeah, so I'm in last on the year, 5-6-1. Juice Boy Joe 7-4-1, and then Juice Boy McCoy 8-3-1.
Oh,
I
that's
like we
money.
each have 1 tie. That's impressive.
I guess I'll get us started here, gentlemen.
Why don't you get started here?
I'm going to take the Ravens 4.5 against the
No, I wanted that one.
The Ravens dropped, 3 touchdowns? I think I saw a stat. It was 150 yards of drops that were produced. They're going to get that figured out. The poor Titans have no shot. The Ravens are still probably a top 5 team in the NFL. Every team has one of those games, and this one was just really bad. I think it's over-exaggerated. I could see this line closing to more 5.5, 6.5 as the week goes on.
We love closing. Yeah,
we love that.
podcast.
But I think Ravens 4.5. That feels they're gonna come out and really focused up this next week.
I think it's a slap in the face to the 49ers that they're only a 5.5 point favorite.
Damn,
over
that
the
was my
Rams.
next one. Yep.
What the hell is that?
Browns
right?
defense is pretty solid, but like Deshaun Jackson might not even play, or Deshaun Watson may not even play.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't. That guy. Well, actually, I hope he does, so Nick Bosa can rip his head off. But it's just I can't believe that they are stomping everybody they are playing, and they are only -5.5 over Cleveland. All right, so I think that's what I'm taking. That is, yeah. Let's go Niners. Let's go Niners.
Damn you.
I'm going Maryland -14 versus Illinois.
Okay.
It's at Maryland. Tagovailoa is playing lights out this season. They did just go up against the bandsaw that is Ohio State.
They played them tough, but then
They did. They played the hell out of them. I mean, it's just one of those where, unfortunately, Ohio State is still just heads and shoulders better than Maryland, but they get a reeling Illinois team that just got the hell beat out of them by Nebraska in an ugly game, where Nebraska, put it to them, and Illinois never even had a lead. So Maryland -14 feels very easy.
Okay.
Against Illinois.
Ooh, round 2. I'm gonna go the Detroit Lions -3.
I liked that one too.
Like the Bucks are playing well, but I just looked at the last second. The Lions are 4-1 against the spread, so we're getting some of these metrics into play now. Them in Miami and San Fran have all 4-1 against the spread records. Lions -3 against the Bucks. Bucks are playing well. Lions are on a heater. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think Lions are getting a little too much praise right now, but I think it'll be a close game. Lions pull ahead at the last second.
Baker's balling, but I think
well.
Detroit's a team of destiny this year. I really do. I love them.
The team of destiny to go out in the second round.
I love them. All right, now I'm going into my next pick. I think this one it's shocking, but I'm gonna do it. I'm taking USC +2.5 over Notre Dame.
Ooh.
I think USC just barely eked out one over dog shit Arizona in triple overtime, but Notre Dame, I don't think. They had that sweet drive to come back and beat Duke, but having 10 dudes on the field on back-to-back plays to lose to Ohio State and then getting stomped by Louisville, I think there's a lot of them that their spirit's kind of broken, and I think they're going to start going into a tailspin here. And I could see USC just being infuriated that they barely beat Arizona, and I think USC's offense is better than Notre Dame's defense. So USC's defense is trash. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm taking USC in that game. I probably should just take the money line, but 2.5. There you go.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you there, Juice Boy Joe.
Oh.
USC didn't just barely beat a crappy Arizona team. They also just barely beat Colorado as well. I think that this is a team that hasn't gone up against a stout defense. Notre Dame hung with Ohio State and barely lost. They did just get embarrassed. I think that fuels them rather than breaks them. This is a team that is looking to put a statement on this season and declare themselves as nationally relevant. It's at Notre Dame. It is, it's going to be the first time that USC goes up against a team that can actually stack up toe-to-toe with them. And I think that they've shown the last couple of weeks that as long as a team is willing to not give up, they're going to find themselves with a fighting chance. And I don't see Notre Dame losing that opportunity.
Dang, I'm also taking USC and Notre Dame. I'm taking the over, though.
Are you really? We got a lot going on this game.
Yeah, I guess so. 62.5 for me, Christopher. Mark it down. I think Caleb Williams is going to have to score points. Their defense isn't going to stop anyone. I just think it's going to be an exciting, fun game to watch, but it's going to be all about points. So mark it down for me. Take the over.
Let's get it.
Oh, now you guys make me feel bad about USC. I was going to take the Broncos. Fuck it. I'm doing it. All right. Every single time the Broncos and the Chiefs play, it is a dogfight. And they always, like you said, it always makes them look better than they are, blah, blah,
Yep.
blah. But this is it. This is it for the season for the Broncos. Their season's already over. But at this point, this is it. If Russell Wilson has any balls or anything left in him, he is going to just go out and play as hard as he can. Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton and Justin Simmons need to ball out so they can look good for trade value. All right.
This is basically an interview for other teams.
This is it. You know, they look good for trade value, and 10.5 is a big line.
For a divisional opponent, like I would take it if I didn't want to stress out about a line like that. But that's just so many points for a divisional game.
Letting Pope Pelletier get his third goddamn pick.
Oh, I guess we got to let this guy pick. Jeez.
I love that too.
It's the NyQuil really setting in.
I am taking the 49ers at Cleveland over 37.
No, I wanted it. No!
And also, I'm going to go ahead and ding Joe. You've got 49ers minus 5.5, USC plus 2.5, Broncos plus 10.5. We don't have an over-under. Which are you dropping? What are you replacing it with?
Shit. Then you're taking my over. Damn it. Okay, well, I'm dropping Broncos.
Why do you think
I
waited to say mine and then tell you that you screwed up?
But my soul is rooting for the Broncos. But my money, I guess, for this podcast, Iowa had burned me with that punt return. I'm going that dude. He needs to score 25 points a game to keep his job. All right, Brian Ferentz needs to score 25 points a game to keep his job. So I'm taking the over in Iowa, Wisconsin at 36.5. I know it's not a good idea, but they burned me. They burned me on the under. So let's go Iowa, score points.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
You know what else is beautiful, Joe?
Joey's face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I had.
Old.
It's not beautiful that we're done because I don't want to be done.
That's it for our show.
We survived, boys. We made it.
We made it
Cody.
through Cody's flu game. Thanks for joining us.
A puddle on the floor, but still talking.
I got a cold toddy at this point.
Yeah, I thought it was
Toddy.
from the get-go.
Guys, we're 3 months in, 20 states in, multiple countries. We're in our first dream.
We're past our first trimester.
Yep.
Next, I want to be in somebody's nightmare. Ooh. Yeah.
Okay.
Dream's too easy. I want us to be a terrifying force in the dream state of someone.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna go contemplate that over some NyQuil. But thanks for joining us,
Could happen
everyone.
tonight.
It could. I might be the one having the dream.
Could happen
Love, love. Bye, everyone.
everybody.
Hey, everybody. We miss
Bye,
you.
Kevin in Topeka.
Chet and Purdy.
Especially you, Kevin. And yeah, the guy from Australia. Hey, we're still thinking about you. Come back.
Chet in Perth, bro. Come on, man.
Chat. We love you, Chat.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.